Okay, here's another video. This is from 8.6, number 25. It says find the angle between the vectors. So the vectors given are u equals cosine of 3 pi over 4I plus sine 3 pi over 4j, and vector v is cosine pi over 2I plus sine pi over 2j. Now I want to be clear here. In this case, the i's do not imply the imaginary axis. These are actually, the I is a horizontal and the j is a vertical. So we're not talking about complex numbers here. So the first thing that really makes this a lot easier is if we look at u and evaluate what is cosine of 3 pi over 4. And as you've all memorized the tables, that's going to be negative square root of 2 over 2i, right? You all know that now. Plus, and sine of 3 pi over 4 is positive square root of 2 over 2j. And then for v, cosine of pi over 2 is, everyone knows it, let's all say it together. Very good, it's 0. 0i plus, and sine of pi over 2 is what? Very good, that's 1 times j. So what we're looking for is cosine of theta equals u dot v over the magnitude of u times the magnitude of v. So our u dot v is going to be, we're going to multiply the I components, so that's going to be the negative square root of 2 over 2 times 0 plus the positive square root of 2 over 2 times 1. And that just results in square root of 2 over 2. So that's going to be our numerator here. Now let's look at the magnitude of u. Now you might already be yelling at me, oh, we can see what the magnitude of u is here because there's no leading coefficient. And you'd be right. So that would imply it's what? Well, if you don't know, then we'll look at this the traditional way. So we look at the square root of negative square root of 2 over 2 squared plus positive square root of 2 over 2 squared. That's going to be the square root of 1/2 plus 1/2, which is the square root of 1, which is 1. Yes, very good. Good observation there. Also, if we look at the v, notice up there, there's no leading coefficient, but let's just double check this. That's going to be the square root of 0 squared plus 1 squared. It's the square root of 0 plus 1, square root of 1, which equals 1. So the magnitude for each u and v is 1, and we could have just seen that if we look back in the original vector, there's no leading coefficient given, so it's implied to be 1. Now we're looking at cosine of theta equals that u dot v, that's the square root of 2 over 2, over the magnitude of u, which is 1, times the magnitude of v, which is also 1. So our cosine of theta is basically square root of 2 over 2. So what's our theta? Well, that's going to be cosine inverse of square root of 2 over 2. And now that you've all memorized the tables, you know quickly and immediately that's going to be pi over 4. So the angle between these two vectors is pi over 4, or 45 degrees. Hope that helps.